Hey guys, it's Trish from Trish's Card Club. Happy Monday night, live from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I think I did that a little out of order. I can't remember. Oh my goodness. Happy Monday night, everybody. Happy football night. Tonight, two brothers coaching against each other, so it should be a very interesting game. I'll get to watch a little bit before I fall asleep after I get done my video. Hey, Mary, thanks for joining. So I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I have a YouTube and a Facebook channel. A YouTube channel and a Facebook page called Trish's Card Club. And you can shop with me online 24/7 at trishan.stampinup.net. Hey, Teresa, thanks for joining. I always sort of just fill in that little blurb and a little information about me for people that are trying to find me on YouTube Live. It takes a minute or two for me to go live, and then it takes a little bit for you guys to find me. So I'm using filler time in case you wonder why every single time I tell you I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, every single time I tell you about you can shop with me online, it's just my filler. Hey, Angela, welcome, welcome. Hey, Miss Peg. It is Happy Monday night and happy football. You have got that right, Peg. Two priorities, definitely. You guys, it's week 12 of a 17-week season. It is flying by. I don't know how that's happening. What I was going to do, let me see if I can do this real quick. What I was going to do is, let me see if I can do this. I may not be able to. No, I can't. I was going to try to put my phone on the screen to show you guys that it's chilly here. It's chilly. But I'll tell you something even funnier. So I was in West Palm Beach, Jupiter area of Florida this past weekend for a wedding. I think I might have shared with you guys. I went to the wedding of one of the boys that I nannied. Dylan was born 27 years ago, and he and his girlfriend of several years got married this weekend. It was just a beautiful weekend. It was so great to see everybody and so many memories and shared stories, and it just was a really, really special weekend. But people, it was freezing. The wedding was in a barn, and so it was open at both ends. It was very pretty, really pretty decorated with lights and lots of flowers and greenery and stuff. But it was freezing. It was like 50. I was miserable. I went to Florida to have it to be 85 degrees, as it should be, and it was 50. So it's a little warmer here today. What made it so cold was it was very, very windy, just like it had been here before I left. It had been windy for several days, so it was really, really windy. Yes, Peg, do you remember hearing about him? And then Cody, his older brother, is 30 this year. So they turned 27 and 30 this year. It's just, I don't know, as I'm sure people say all the time, I don't know where the time went, but they're both doing really well. And 50 degrees, better get the snowsuit on. You are not kidding, Tracy. I like it 80. 80 or better is my temperature. And it's freezing, in the house. So I have a heater on, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So, all right, I think I've spent enough time filling in time for people to join. So I'm going to put this away and get started with our card tonight. I'll talk a little bit about some of the products that I'm using. I'm using the stamp set called Shepherd's Care. And let me see. It's so good that you guys can't see my desk because it's such a mess when I'm stamping. This is the catalog. This is the mini catalog where it came from. So just so you'll see the front so you can know what well, maybe if I can find the front, you'll know what I'm talking about. My goodness, Trisha. There it is. It's with all the houses on it. Okay. This is the stamp set that I'm using. This stamp set is a freestanding standalone stamp set. It didn't have any dies. It didn't have any punches. It had nothing to go with it. It's called Shepherd's Care. It was $26. And I used this for one of my Christmas cards for my class. So I'm using the Shepherd's Care stamp set. And then the other thing that I'm using are let me see what is their official name? They're called water painters. So I don't know if you've ever used these from Stampin' Up! Before, but they have a what do you call this, you guys? Oh my gosh, I'm running out of my words. I know Tracy can share. So Tracy's my sister-in-law, super, super, super great woman. She came down and visited several times when I was a nanny in Florida. And so she could tell you some probably good stories about the boys. One of the times that her and my brother came down, I don't think their girls came with them. I don't remember. That's a little bit foggy. But Dylan has a blood disorder. And when he was just firstborn through the first year of his life, he had a lot of blood transfusions. And the doctor described it as if he always like had the flu. So he's kind of achy and a little bit crabby. And my gosh, I think he cried the whole weekend that they were there. But you just get used to it. I mean, thank God he's healthy today and he's doing really well. So, okay, back to my aqua paint, my water painters. So you put water in here inside there. Let me undo one and show you what I mean. It just unscrews and you fill it with water from here. And then you're going to squeeze it to get water to come out, and you literally paint with them. So they come in a set of 3, and they have 3 different size brushes. And I can't get the brush screwed on. So there's this big fat brush, which is super. Can you see it? I'm always struggling with my lights. So this is a super fat brush. That's one of them. And then it comes with a medium sized brush, which is the brush I'm using tonight. And then it comes with a very, very fine brush, which is this one right here. So it's a set of 3, and it's a lot of fun. And then basically to get them to work, you fill it with water, as this one is, and then you just squeeze it right here, and then water will come out, and then the brush gets wet. So you just squeeze it till the water comes out, and then the brush is wet. And then I'll show you how to clean them because I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna switch colors. Okay, so you don't have to, but I highly recommend that you use watercolor paper for this card, because let me do one thing, you guys. I want to try to, okay, that hopefully that'll be a little bit better for you to see it, because the aqua painters, there's a lot of grace and mercy with the aqua painters. And if you use a watercolor paper, it's very thick, and it just gives you a lot of grace with the aqua painters. And you also want to use Stays On ink because it won't run. So we're going to use some Stays On ink. Oops. Take the cover off that. Remember how I used to always smell it, you guys, because it smells like rose water. It smells so good. So I'm going to try to get a fair amount of ink on the stamp. And then on this one, I have to remember to stamp it very low so that my stamp, the rest of my card fits. That might be a little crooked, but it's okay. We're after just getting the concept. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, there we go. That's the image that we wanted, and that came out really good. That's the shepherd, our Jesus, and his sheep. Oops, nope, I don't want to close that yet. And then I'm going to take the little town that comes in the set, and I'm going to stamp that as if he is looking at the town over here. There we go. Very good. And then I'm going to stamp my label, which is right here. I'm just going to get all my stamping done. I'm using from the set Peace on Earth. That's one of the stamp sets in the set. And that's what I'm using. And I'm going to just stamp that right there. Peace on Earth. And I think then I have the inside. So I'm going to do that. Like I said, I'm just going to get all my stamping done. Let me get an inside card. Let's see. An inside layer. Now, one of the stamps that I'm using for my inside is an old stamp set. I've had it for years. It's called For Unto Us. It's an old Christmas word stamp set. You've probably got a card for me with this. I'm using sharing with you the glory, wonder, and miracle of this holy season. I love that stamp. I love that my cards can reflect why we have the Christmas holiday. I still send out fun cards too, but I do like to, just kind of focus on why we celebrate Christmas, not just the commercial side of it. So I'm doing that. And then I'm going to use an old Merry Christmas. And then the final thing I'm going to do is in that set is this star stamp. So I'm going to take Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to ink that up. And I'm going to stamp that. How am I going to do that? Let's see. Yep, I'm going to stamp that right in the middle of my words, like that. And then what I'll do is I'll take this same stamp and I'll put it on the envelope, and then that will kind of tie it all together. So that's going to be my inside card. And then this is my outside. And now I am going to use two colors. I'm using Crumb Cake. And in order to use the aqua paint, is what you do is you take the stamp set, you take the ink pad and you squeeze it together, squeeze it really, really hard. And when you do that, you get a little puddle of ink in the middle of your your ink pad. And that's what I want to do. So I'm using Crumb Cake and I'm using Misty Moonlight. And I did it already to get that. I'm going to put this aside because I'm going to do something else with that. Okay. All right. I'm just moving all my stuff out of the way that has stamped ink on it so that I don't get it all over me or my card. Okay. And then I am taking I already got water on my water painter. So I'm going to take some ink here, and Stampin' Up! Kind of does the work for us. So let me explain what I mean by that. Where it's already dark is like the reflection of the shadow. And then where it's light is going to be lighter in my design. So I'm going to just start here and I'm going to just fill in the robe. Like that. Then, oops, I got to get his arm. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to get it much darker. And I'm just going to go in blue where Stampin' Up! Has it already marked that I should be shadowing or emphasizing. Does that make sense? Hopefully that will make sense. So do you guys see what I'm doing? I'm literally, do I have enough light? Do you have enough light that you can see what I'm doing? I'm just literally coloring in, just putting a little bit of ink on it. Now with watercolor, the trick is less is more. You can always go back and add, but it's hard to take away. So less is more in watercolor. So you want to kind of do it in layers. So if you saw me in the beginning, I was I got it really wet and very light. And now I'm doing it with like full on ink, not a lot of water, to bring out the shading part of this. Okay, now that's good enough for you get the concept. Let me just go over this one more time because my blue is not blue enough for me. Okay. Then what you're going to do to change colors, you don't have to get a new pen. You can have one pen does it all. You literally just take your pen, squeeze it here, and it says push right on there. And you just squeeze it till the water comes out, and then you just roll it around until you get all the ink off. Now it's stained blue, doesn't matter, won't affect, you see how it's coming clear, won't affect your card at all. Then go back, now I'm going over to, and I want to get it a little bit, see the difference, you guys? I've got it quite a bit of water in it, and I'm just going to color my the headpiece that Jesus is wearing. Like that. Then I'm going to go back where it's pretty thick, and I'm going to go over the shadowed part so that I think you can see it a little bit better on the headpiece than you can see it on the robe. Just going to make it a little bit darker where the shadow lines are. And you got to go over it once or twice. Okay. Now, oops, let me get a little, let me water it down a little bit and get a little up here. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the perception that the town is far away. Super easy to do. You just get a little ink on your water painter, and you're just going to draw a line like this, and then down here. And then take a little, this is too wet, so I'm going to take it off and I'm just going to draw it down. So it's not a straight, like severe line. I'm just coloring in. Does that make sense? I'm just trying to give the perception that it's off in the distance. So, oops, let me bring this to the edge too. Now, I probably went a little heavy. I could have done a much thinner line or a much, let's see, not as dark. But like I said, you have to go light. You can't. There's not a lot of opportunity to take it away. You can always add, but not a lot of opportunity to take away. So that's still going to work. That's still going to be really, really pretty. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a marker and I'm just going to, oops, wrong side. I'm just going to, every time I've done this card, and I've done them, several of them, they all look different. I'm going to just go brown on his belt, and I'm going to go brown on the headpiece up here, just to bring a little bit of contrast that I can't get with the aqua painters. And literally, you guys, that is it. Now I'm going to layer this up. I'm using a layer of black. And then this is watercolor paper. So it's the same thing as if it were embossed. You guys need to use a fair amount of glue to get it to stay down because it's very thick. So be generous with the glue. You guys, I'm going to trim this a little bit because it's not even. You see how, oops, now it's really not even. I want it to be a little bit less. I wonder if the paper's crooked because it's coming on the black paper very crooked. Yeah, I want to trim a little bit of that off. Hold on, let me get my trimmer. Just 1 second. This is called Creating on the Fly. Let me see if I can do it like this. Hopefully I can. Just get a little bit off. Let me see how that looks. That looks good, and it could even use a little bit more. Just a hair more. Perfect. All right. That's it. You get rid of that. To clean the water painters, you literally, the same concept, you just squeeze a little bit of water till it runs clean, and then you're done. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Oh, that wasn't even on camera. That's all you have to do. Like I said, it's going to stain a little bit, but that's fine. It doesn't affect it for the next color that you're going to use. So that's how you'll do that. Then I'm going to put this layer on top of my Misty Moonlight layer, like this. And this is just a piece of cardstock scored, cut in half and scored. That's what this is. So then what I did is I took this punch that I'm using is retired. I want to see if I have, well, I'm not going to take the time. I thought this was one of the ones that was still in the catalog, but it's not. I see the one that's in the catalog. It's on the other side of the room, but there is a punch that gives an that you can make an end a tab with it. So you can use your stash is what I'm trying to say, or you can order one from that's current. So let me do that. Take that out. Let me do this. And I'm turning it over to make sure that it's in the center. That's what I'm doing when I'm lining it up. I'm making sure that it's in the center. And do that. And that takes that out. And then I have this layer. Same slot, just a little bit wider. Put that in. Make sure it's... I got to tell you one thing about the wedding reception that was so cool, you guys. I mean, I'd never been to a wedding reception like this before. I don't know if this was a surprise for the bride and the groom, but I didn't know that it was coming. Cheryl, the boys' mom didn't tell me, but the dad of the bride had 3 songwriters from Nashville, all who've won Grammys. So they're the songwriters, but all have won Grammys for writing songs. Performed each of them 3 songs. So they played a total of 9 songs. There was 3 of them with their guitars. It was so amazing. I mean, I could not stop clapping. I was grinning from ear to ear. They were all songs that they wrote. So some well, all of them were pretty famous. They've written for Reba McEntire, and they've written for Luke somebody. I don't even know all the country singers, but they did an amazing job. That was the coolest part for me of the reception. Yeah, that was really amazing. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it here. And I should have still gone lower on it because then I'm going to end up covering some of his head. But, well, that's all right. I should have gone lower. But And I could always do it on the inside if it really looked bad. Some of the girls just opted not even to put a label like I'm doing on. Some of them just literally stamped the word Peace on Earth up here. But I felt like the card was a little bit flat, so I wanted to put something on it. So I'm doing that. No, it'll work. It'll work. So it'll just cover his head. And that, you guys, oops, let me put this on the inside. This was one of our Christmas cards for my Christmas card classes here. And I was super happy with how it came out. So that's the card. So let me see if I move this away. You still can see it pretty well. You can still see it pretty well. Like I said, I could keep playing with this and bringing it down more and making it lighter and lighter. Can you see what it's doing, you guys? It's just bringing it down and making it lighter and lighter. But I didn't really want such a thick line, but that's okay. It's just not as severe if you put a little more water to it, if that makes any sense. Okay, that looks good. I'm done. I'm done playing. Let me see if I can get it a little bit closer. Let me try one more time. There. Can you see it now? Thanks, you guys. Thank you for your kind words, as always. I want to say thank you to the folks that liked or subscribed to my YouTube channel. I asked last week if you were first timers or if you'd been back before to help me grow my channel. And some people actually subscribed. I was so excited, especially when I don't know people and they're subscribing to my channel. I think it's just so amazing. Thanks, Becky. Because it helps me. Like I said, when I get to 1,000 subscribers, then I can do a lot more on YouTube. And Facebook is just, for me, it's just too hard. They have too many changes all the time to deal with. So I kind of opt out of Facebook. I load up my video on Facebook, but it's too hard to do lives on Facebook for me anymore. It used to be easy, but they've just changed so much. So we've canceled that. All right. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I know, it is so true. It was literally, Tracy, like a live concert. It was just amazing. And I didn't really get the guys' names because I don't know the songwriters. You just know the people that are famous for singing them. But their voices were amazing. They told funny stories about the songs. And so it was a lot of fun, and about how they, go to these writing venues with other writers, and they just sit for days and write. It's like a whole nother world. So it was really cool. So, well, listen, I hope that you guys have a good week. This is the week of Thanksgiving in our country of the USA, and we have a lot to be thankful for. I am very, from my heart, thankful for you guys, that you share your Monday nights with me, that you're always encouraging and supportive. I've learned a lot. I love that I can share my passions of stamping with you guys. I love that you stamp too. It's so exciting when I see cards or receive cards from other people. I'm very, very grateful. And I just want to say thank you. I have a long list of thank yous. I consider myself very blessed and very grateful for the life that God has given me. I have a really great family. I have a wonderful husband, and we have a safe home, and I drive a safe car, and I have a God who loves me. So we have a lot to be thankful for. I am a little homesick this time of the year because Thanksgiving was always such a special holiday in my house growing up. My aunts and uncles would come, and my cousins, and my mom made it an amazing meal. And so this year, my sisters and brothers will be celebrating, and I know they'll have a wonderful time. I'll call them and bug them during the day, and we'll be having a quiet little Thanksgiving with my in-laws, but it will be nice. I'm not cooking. Don't get your hopes up, girls. Do not get your hopes up. So anyone who is going to be with their family, count your blessings. And if you're not, it's okay. I really believe in Friendsgiving. It makes a big difference just to surround yourself with people that you love and know you, and think of, just spend the day in a heart of gratitude. It'll make the day go really, really well. So next week I will be here. The week after that, I won't. I have a Monday night commitment that I couldn't change. So I'll be here next week with a new card, and it will probably be one more Christmas card because Carol, from my trip, I have one more card to show. And then December is going to be, I don't know what December is going to be. Still don't know. We'll figure it out. I love you guys. I miss you guys. Remember, around here, we make it and we mail it. I forgot to say that last week. I don't know how I forgot, because that's how I'm supposed to end all my videos. So make it and mail it. And we'll see you in a week. Happy Thanksgiving. Eat lots of turkey and stuffing and cranberries and potatoes. And I could go on. And of course, for dessert, a pumpkin pie. That's very much what I'm going to be having for my Thanksgiving. Love you guys. Bye now.